This is a battle in Total War Napoleon. Napoleon Total War. Between Aggony Achilles and Blademaster. I know Achilles was a decent player in Napoleon. I didn't know Blademaster even played Napoleon. So this is pretty cool. If I was to put money on this match, I would put my money on Achilles, because I think he has superior knowledge of the game and superior experience, but we'll see what happens. So here is Achilles' army, I think. The United Netherlands, a very cool nation. I don't know if you know this, but the Netherlands were a very progressive nation during the Napoleonic age, and they have continued to be so up until the present day. They have some hussars here. 2 hussars. Then he has Dutch flankers. 3 Dutch flankers. He has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 line infantry. 1 Dutch flanker, so no max 6 or max 4 of the same, I assume. Then some hussars on the flanks. The general is William II, the Prince of Orange. Can't see Blademaster's army quite yet. And Achilles isn't going to deploy the way that he... That's pretty cool that you get to see the deployment decisions here. The battlefields are big. They look great, I think. They are big, they have very nice weather effects, some nice scenery in the background. Pretty cool, I think. So I'll just fast forward while Achilles deploys his army here. Looks like he's going to go dead center with these units. Deploying double lines. The Dutch flankers first. Line infantry behind. Dutch flankers, I assume those are going to be longer range light infantry, since they only have 90 men per unit. So he's going for a fairly standard flank here with both cavalry and light infantry. He's going to be go slightly different on this flank. And here we go, the battle starts. Now we can go over, let's see, have a look at Blademaster's army, see what nation he has. Blademaster is a Briton, which makes sense since India was colonized by the Brits. He has 2 units of, he has a horse guard, a light dragoon. Here he has King's German Legion, light foot, and foot. In the center he has King's German Legion, 42nd Foot, the Black Watch. Pretty cool unit. Then he has foot. Massive lines in this battle and very strong flanks. The British cavalry isn't the best, but their infantry is very, very good. And let's just have a look at the tactical situation of the map here. There are also openings here where there are woodlands, so I assume there's a ridge here, which is going to make for a great defensive position for Achilles if he can make it there. He's sending up his hussars very quickly. And these forests are also going to make for some pretty interesting defensive points, because whoever decides to cross is going to find themselves facing line infantry and light infantry in the forest, which of course it's not a good time for cavalry to charge into, and it's easily defensible by these infantry units. So Blademaster going into the forest, he does not push aggressively, sends 2 units of cavalry around the flanks here, and this could be interesting because Achilles is sending 1 line infantry unit through the forest here, and that's a smart move, because this line infantry, by going into square formation, is going to be able to make itself almost immune to cavalry. Blademaster though sending up some King's German Legion to support, so this flank is almost totally void of units for Achilles. He's pushing hard in the center, most of his units in the forest here, and then a pretty strong left flank. On his left flank he has a total of 5 infantry units, 2 cavalry. Blademaster has a lot of infantry on this flank. He has 4 infantry units here, 1 light foot infantry unit, and some horse guards. So what you'll notice in Napoleon Total War is that the deployment and actually getting to the fighting takes a lot longer than in other Total War games. And I quite like that. 2 armies marching up, deploying in the terrain, and it makes for slower games with more room for tactical maneuvering, rather than when you have just 2 armies going head on really, really quickly, like you get in Attila and like you get in Rome, because the maps are so small. So the pace is a bit slower, but again, that leaves more room for maneuvering, like what Blademaster is doing around here. Sending his horse guards, walking around the flanks, while just holding in the forest here, wanting to protect multiple angles of approach. And you can't just rush. The unit that gets hit first, loses men first, is going to have less men firing in the follow-up volley. So engaging has to be done smartly. It's not just a matter of getting hit with a few precursors or a few arrow volleys. These line infantry units and light infantry units will kill a lot of men at good ranges. So I'll just fast forward here, keep an eye on the battlefield. It looks like both players being very, very patient, inching up slowly towards each other. Blademaster is much stronger on this flank. So if he manages to get the King's German Legion in towards the line infantry, and the line infantry has to go into square formation, he could wreck this line infantry unit. Let's see here. Achilles, it seems like he hasn't... These line infantry, they are hidden. So Blademaster doesn't actually see them now. Blademaster doesn't want to move into the forest. But of course Achilles sees Blademaster's cavalry. This line infantry is not hidden. So Blademaster sees it, moves around. Sends his hussars. I think hussars are going to do a decent job against horse guards. I'm not quite sure who's going to take it in that engagement. So Blademaster runs away here, sends an additional light dragoon unit up to support. And here come the King's German foot. They could get hit by a volley from this line infantry because it's hidden, and the German foot, they are running. And let's see here. Just out of range of the line infantry. Nothing happening over here, just moving up. And this is the King's German Legion Lightfoot, so they will have a ranged advantage over this line infantry. That could definitely come into play if they manage to spot the line infantry, that is. Because now they're running forward, and if they get hit by a volley here, they only have 90 men in the unit, so that's going to be really bad for them. They are about to be in range. And this line infantry is now... They are in range, they're firing. And 12 men dead from the King's German Legion. Achilles is also losing a lot of men, because these are very, very accurate troops, but they're losing troops rapidly to the fire of the line infantry. And here we have some hussars running up through the forest. Light infantry does not like being attacked by hussars, but Blademaster has foot supporting his light infantry. So if these foot units manage to fire on the hussars are going to be dead. They lose some men due to friendly fire though. The light foot firing on the hussars, and they are pushing back the lines and the cavalry of Achilles. So this overall lost some light foot, but that wasn't the worst engagement for Blademaster. Not a complete loss. And over here we have, let's see. Over here we have Achilles setting up a defensive position near the house. Lightfoot rushing up. They will have superior range on the light infantry. More hussars. These Lightfoot units are going to push now, but Achilles is moving in several directions, using his line infantry in square here, presumably to ward off the cavalry of Blademaster hiding in the forest. But the square is an easy target for the Lightfoot. Let's see over here. These Lightfoot are not in range just yet. They will be soon. And if Achilles doesn't move up his line infantry, they're going to get shot to pieces. And yeah, he's firing. He decides to pull away from there. He can't see if there are supporting units in the forest, so wisely done by Achilles pulling away. But he lost quite a few men in that engagement. So over here the light foot of Blademaster pushing up against the square. But these horse guards, look at how many men they lose going into the forest against the line infantry. Pretty terrible stuff. That's 1/3 of the unit basically wasted. But it does allow these units to get into range, the foot to get into range. So the line infantry might take a beating here. Let's see what's happening over here. The hussars winning decisively. The light foot getting chased off the field. But here come some horse guards and a massive push towards the forest with the Dutch flankers. Wow, this is a very aggressive push right into the forest. He's able to see all of these units. He rushed up when the cavalry was away. Let's see, the hussars do not want to engage just yet. The light infantry manages to get some really good shots off here. And it looks like this might have caught Blademaster by surprise, because these well formed up lines are doing a lot of damage, forming into square, doing well, not doing too much damage to the cavalry really. The cavalry manages to get into the Dutch flankers and do some damage there, but this square is going to be able to do a lot of damage to the light dragoons. And overall it seems like these units are winning against the units of Blademaster, even though they're in the forest. Because he's using double lines here, whereas Blademaster's units, they were just not ready. They're getting chased out of the forest. Here comes the hussars in, destroying the units over here, chasing them down, making sure they do not come back. So the forest engagement there won decisively. This unit of line infantry is holding out, but it's going to lose in the end. Still, that engagement over there went decisively in favor of Aggony Achilles. Blademaster just chased out of the forest by the line infantry and the light foot of the Netherlands. And here Blademaster's trying to make a push on the forest, but these lines are perfectly set up. Light infantry in front, skirmishing, firing into the light foot, getting flanking shots off on the King's German Legion. Forming up and then firing means that you're going to be losing a lot of men before you get the first volley off, and that is of course devastating. Almost looks like these men are getting shot in the back by their own troops as well. So here we have a square, the horse guards taking a lot of damage from the squared up line infantry, and this is another very important unit just getting massacred. And the Brits are not doing too well over here either. They have to form square because there are hussars coming in, and forming square is going to make them sitting ducks for all of this infantry here. So the squares stopped forming. The square means that they get charged by the hussars, and this foot unit is losing a lot of men, but this second line of infantry here is wrecking the hussars. Cavalry dies so quickly here, moving up with some Dutch flankers, getting nice shots off on the foot. And in the forest, these light foot, they are still firing at the line infantry of the Netherlands. So this unit has done a great job in just holding off the flank, even in square. But being in the forest has helped it immensely. Another unit of foot routing off the field. This must be very, very frustrating for Blademaster. The units in the forest now able to support the fight. Line infantry hitting the foot in the front, while flanking shots are coming in from the forest. And this unit of the Black Watch looks like it wants to charge in maybe. Nope, stops to fire, but it's taking so much damage. Hussars charging in to make them form a square. The square is going to take a lot of damage. The cavalry unit is down to only 25 men. But these engagements are going so well for the Netherlands. Another foot unit off the field. This unit is going to be off the field without being able to do much because it's up against superior range troops. And now these troops are still firing at extreme range at the line infantry. This line infantry just refuses to die. Dutch flankers, great for sniping at extreme ranges. Here we have a square of King's German Legion. Foot. So many Netherlands units left on the field. The Dutch flankers. Reloading. Let's see if they're able to get the shot off. Looks like the King's German Legion has moved out of range here. The Black Watch is routing. These Dutch flankers losing slightly. They're about to get flanked by this unit. But yeah, looks like Blademaster concedes. And that was a fairly decisive win for Aggony Achilles. He has, let's see, overall these are not monster kills for his units. They are very nice kills, 100, basically taking care of a unit each. Let's see here. I don't think I can see Blademaster's... No, I can't see Blademaster's kills, unfortunately, here. But I have to say, that push through the forest, great push. Just holding one flank with the line, and then going for a decisive push when Blademaster's units essentially weren't ready, because Achilles had his units in double line with light infantry in front, was able to use his cavalry very effectively in making Blademaster form up in squares. So I didn't lose my money this time. Achilles took it. Strength and honor.